Greetings, all praise the King. Welcome to Eyewitness, where we reason to discover truth. Truth that we bear witness to. And as a unit, we come to know the same truth. This is not supposed to be a miracle cure like the Babylonians claim. If you watch them prance on a stage with some spotlights and an audience that will clap and cheer when they see a sign, then that's not real. People have been mistaken if they think they're going to become wise through these means. We have discussed witchcraft here and there over the past year and more. And this is an ancient art. It has advanced. So as idolatry, whereas these are pagan practices. The concept being one to identify with the worship of many gods. Now, most people are pagan, yet they do not know because of the craft. So the craft functions as a deception. People that give an allegiance to a nation state are really worshiping a god or many gods. That is in different forms, one of which is the taking of the oath, which is forbidden, even scripturally. We know the oath is a form of worship of another god because of superstition. Now, man that claims to possess logic claims say that our faith is superstitious, yet when we are given this knowledge, how would we deny what it is that is real? Today, witchcraft is most prevalent in the media industry. Simple term for showing an image, projecting an image. And this image is not only one which is seen, yet heard and sometimes felt. This is now to become the perception, what people now think and see is based on what is projected. These become the thoughts which turn to behavior. As you see, today's world is consumed pornographic content. This is the result of incubation. It has spawned to infest the population. This now becomes the culture I call the Babylonian, as generations, powers conquered to converge to this place. Today, as discussed, this art has become sophisticated, whereas even some of the most unlikely suspects are susceptible. So as you think you're able to defend yourself against these demons, because if they become your thoughts and behavior, then they have possession over your soul. And now being possessed, how shall you know to discern what's real? It's real simple, kind of how it works. But see, the idea with these folks is to confuse you. This is so that people don't pay attention. It's too much. It's overwhelming, the information. So people stop processing what's happening. Like, most people like to know what's real. And to keep people from that, they have first gotten the attention of people. Then they began to give them some good information. This is basically stuff that's happening, whether it's important or not. At least it's real. Then they use the mouthpieces of the institutions. This could be the feds or some bank, the banks or the Wall Street, the industrial judicial system. They've built themselves as being credible. Like, these people wouldn't lie, but they've got all the equipment. And so they tell you a lie. They use the institutions to lie. Let's give an example. Omar Mateen shot up 49, killed 49 people in Orlando. We were told, that he had made a call and that he had referenced ISIS. Well, this is one of the newest, biggest lies. You can call it a counter-institution. ISIS is not very popular. All right? So you can set up these counter-institutions. And what you do is you frame people. You make an attempt to join certain people with this group in the mind of the public. This, destroys their worth. What they stand for is no longer valid. We were told Omar Mateen had spoken about ISIS. Had we been told that Omar Mateen had talked about the Taliban, the image that was perceived would have become different. So they tend to carry a lot of pointless, stories, which flood the minds of the public. Don't know now what's important, because if these institutions, that have all that power to reach people, are talking about something like this, immigration, which has been going on for as long as mankind has existed, pretty much, right? But somehow it's more important this year or this month. Really, it's a few months, and how you know it's a network is they carry the same story. Sometimes they have different angles. Really, they all tell the same tale. It ends at the same place. And therefore, they flooded the public with BS. The public don't know what to think. Now, the institutions come in. Or some other story comes in. And it's not necessarily a direct lie, but we are dealing with indirect lies. When they say, the unemployment went down. Well, after people stop looking for employment after so many months, they're no longer counted. So hypothetically, you could have no one on the planet working and no unemployment. When they tell us that, life expectancy goes down, well, they included child deaths, births, deaths, in the statistics today from the old time when it was very common for a child to not survive the birth. Today they have abortion. When they use language like weeks, this has been going on for more than a week. You think that it's been going on for 8 days, 10 days, and maybe it's been going on for 50 years. They use the same type of language with numbers. He made more than 50 million last year, the governor, when he made 100 million. So, indirect lies. They're feeding. That's the spoon. They're gonna feed the population who's gonna swallow because they don't have anywhere else to go. I mean, when the military designed this internet, they began this process to make sure that they're the feeding instruments, and they've done it through their services, their search engines. They have a way to spread news, and they'll turn it into like a common household, houseware, where do this, do that. Well, that's what people are doing. Other people will latch onto it because they feel like they're going to be left behind if they don't take on this new age. Keep up with the Jones or whatever. But that's another thing. They use these corny phrases, to kind of just brush off what's really happening. So this is the witchcraft, forms of deception. You know, counselor institutions, the bad guys. Sometimes they're using the good guys as bad guys, but they're using the device to target people specifically, you know, with the specific content. Now being generated by the machine. So the machine can determine what words, what images affect what people. So now they're using that you know, AI, artificial intelligence, to see people even further into an era where, you know, the confusion is so great, people don't know what to believe, you know, because they're going to have fake people, fake words, you know, fake images. That if you protest, let's say, that somebody can say, oh, they made this up, or they layered this out, to take away from the authenticity, because that's where the power is. See, that's where the Babylon fails, is they're not original. They don't possess creativity because the spirit is not within them. I and I possess the creativity that has the power to influence people to do right. If the Babylon was so right, why would we see what we're seeing as far as the death around us, despite this cover-up? Because they're not going to publicize the pedophilia, or they're not going to show the images of people trapped in rubble. They're going to show plenty of dead bodies, because they know that psychologically that has a different, counter effect, you know, on the impure man. And, you know, because it's defilement. And so it will turn someone away from their master, Jah. Life. Basically, today, language, English, is used to exclude people. Now, machines, computers, the language, the images, the way to affect people's behavior has advanced. Judicial industrial complex. They're going to project certain cases. You know, they're looking to move population. They think it's time. Here's a person that could do that. You know, the woman's in distress. What have you. We've got to have drones and satellites. So let's tell the population that, you know, they're going to help watch the earth melt. So there's that pretext we've spoke about. That's going to move people. They're going to use their communication channels. It's not reality. That's the bottom line.